Hey guys, I'm Steve and welcome back to the channel where we talk about the joys of stock market investing, long-term dividend gain. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, I welcome you. Hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. And if you're a returning subscriber, guys, welcome back. I wanted to do a follow-up about a video I dropped a couple months ago about Bank of America with this no money down mortgage loan. And in that video, I talked a little bit about some of the things I thought that were suspect about it. And I want to go back into it because I've been trying to keep up with the articles on the internet. I really haven't seen anything that really brought us up to date of how that's going, and any feedback from anybody with the loans that are applying for the loans. So with me dropping a video yesterday talking about inflation and recession, that plays a big part into the situation with the banks giving up these loans. And the reason why I say that is because of this. Any big business, especially a billion-dollar business with hundreds of billions of dollars, right? Like banks have, and they deal primarily with money. Everybody has their own analysts, and they have their own support teams where they hold meetings before they come out with any type of product or program. Now, amongst these things these analysts deal with banks, they keep track of inflation, they keep track of home prices, and the such. So they know what's going to happen a lot of times before you and I do. And it just spurred me to think about it this morning, so I decided to drop this video. And I think, honestly, in my opinion, this is a predatory loan. And not only is it a predatory loan, in my opinion, it's targeting, because they say families, but these are single families, so I think it's targeting a lot of single mothers and a lot of minorities, that have full running households with a mother and a father that are trying to get, these houses, but are economically disadvantaged. Under the guise of saying, oh, well, it's for minorities to get a house and to help them do this. And they come up with these statistics about, Latino, Black houses. Did you know this amount of people own their own home? This percentage of people own their own home? Okay. Let me get into this, man. I think the financial world is watching, especially Wells Fargo, because they have a lot of properties too that they're trying to liquidate. And once one financial institution does something like this, and it's eyebrow raising. So these other institutions are watching. So this right here, I think, is a financial experiment. And getting into it, first thing I'm going to talk about is this, man. First thing that raises an eyebrow with me when I first saw the story, and a lot of people might not be paying attention to it. I mean, a lot of people should be now, but it's area restricted. So you have to buy the only houses that are going to be presented to you to pick from will be in certain neighborhoods. You know what I mean? So how come I can't go buy a house somewhere else? If I apply for this loan, and there's no money down and this and that, and it's an opportunity to afford a home, which is a dream for a lot of Americans. How come I got to go pick it from certain neighborhoods that you say I got to pick it from? That right there in itself is suspect. Another thing is the qualifications are sketchy. Guys, let's keep it real. They talking about, we just want to know if you pay your bills on time. You pay your rent on time. You pay your car insurance. What the hell does car insurance got to do with getting a house? What if you don't have a car? Then another thing is this, and it's just me rambling. What about a car payment? With that should make more sense than having car insurance. But I mean, that's neither here nor there. I just think that's kind of crazy, the qualifications, because any responsible adult is going to pay their bills on time or tries to pay them on time. So I mean, like the qualifications, as far as seeing if somebody's responsible or not, I mean, that's normal adult stuff. So the qualifications to me they come off as a little bit, them not really no qualification. Another thing, no money down. Guys, you got to think, no money down. Man, that's a risk trap, because the bottom line is this: banks don't do nothing for free without them making money. This is a corporation. They will cut people or fire people, rather, as long as that behemoth, which is the business name, is taken care of. They only care about making money. They deal with money, lending money to get a return back. So if they're offering you something, and they don't want money in the beginning, best believe they want money in the end. And you'll pay for it with hidden costs, higher home prices, or higher interest rates. Now, they knew, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I mean, just having a business myself and knowing, how you research something before you make a move, because the total, game in having a business is to grow your business monetarily, keep your costs down, keep, and keep building something bigger than yourself. And that's what these banks are doing. Look, it's a risk trap. You get this house with no money, you know what I'm saying? No money down. A lot of these people that are buying these houses and applying for these houses that they're targeting don't have money to begin with. So it's just like, like before I had a business and, really understood what money was, I used to think money was made to be spent. I would save just enough for my rent, and I would save just enough for my car payments, and then the rest I was in a constant time to try to spend it, because I felt as though I worked for it. I didn't know how money was used. And a lot of people out there are ignorant to the fact of how to use money, to their benefit. So a lot of people are looking at it like, oh, I can afford this, I can afford that. But you got to understand something. I own 2 houses in my life. And when you own houses, what's the first thing that happens? They cost money. And it's not just the house, paying for the house. It's not like an apartment where something breaks down, you call a maintenance man and he come and fix it, because you're renting off of his land. Now, the land you got right now, when you get this house, is your land. So say the roof go bad. That's a lot of money. That's like tens of thousands of dollars, depending on the size of the house. A smaller house, a roof might be like $9,000, depending on what part of the world you live in. And some of these houses, Charlotte, Miami, Dallas, Detroit, LA, is expensive. You know what I'm saying? So to get a roof fixed out there or any other type of thing, once you buy a house, you buy the responsibility of that house. So I think it's a debt trap, because a lot of people, to maintain a house, it costs a lot of money every year. And a lot of people don't know about that. And it's one of them things that are hidden from you when you buy a house, until, once you're in the house and you're thinking everything's right and stuff start breaking down. It's just like a car. You're going to be like, what the hell? But I mean, the expense of something that breaks down in the house, central air unit. Come on. Dallas, I live in Houston. Dallas is a hot area, just like Houston is. Man, central air, depending on who you call, you can get scammed on that, because they're going to charge your arm and leg just to even come out there. And you're responsible for all that. It could be a nightmare for home repair. And a lot of people are not prepared for that. Now, is that the bank's fault? No. Anything that happened with the house? No. But they are cognizant of that and they don't care. This is what I think, man. The reason why they got these houses up here right now and they trying to get rid of them is one thing you got to understand. Banks are into making money, and no money is free. They want to get rid of these properties. No banks like holding properties, because they don't make them no money. It's still property tax can be paid on a house that nobody lives in. I guarantee you they probably had some kind of meeting with like, hey, listen, we got all these properties, man. We're going to try to get rid of these properties. Like Detroit, they had a squatter problem, a couple of years back, few years back. I don't even know if they still do, and a lot of times the bank was involved in houses that the squatters was in. And a lot of these houses be getting tore up in all of these places. An abandoned house sitting in a certain type of neighborhood, they lose money on it monthly, because people break in, they do things, they start living in the house, and you know how it goes. So these banks are trying to get rid of these properties. And then when you buy a house, a lot of times a house has to have needs work done to it anyway. You know, I remember a while ago they was having a hard time getting rid of repossessed foreclosed properties because people were leaving and tearing them up. I guarantee you some of these homes are like that. And they'll put it all on the bar. Hey, it's your responsibility. The house is sold as is. Like, you know, when you go to some of these car lots, these buy here, pay here car lots, and the cars are raggedy. Hey, there's no warranty. It's as is. Do you want it or not? No credit down. $500 cash. I liken that type of scenario to what they're doing with these houses. Now, I don't think that's right. You know, me personally, with something no money down, I guarantee you it's going to be a lot of hidden fees, or it's going to be a lot of high interest rates. And the reason why I bring up the high interest rates right now is that it's like 7%. So you buy a house, even if the house is $100,000, you know, the bank is going to sell it to you at a higher interest rate, right? And on top of that, you might have another percentage on top of that for them to make more money out of it. But they can tell you, oh, well, look, man, they raised the interest rates by the time you got out of the class, the interest rate. So you might have to pay 11%, you know, and then you as a person that, you know, you've been looking forward to this, you don't went through the steps, you don't went through all these classes, you didn't put your time and effort in, and you get to the finish line only to realize it's a big markup, and a lot of people out of desperation going to take the hit. You know, they're going to jump on that. The upfront cost. Always remember something. When it's low upfront cost, you know, hey, no money down and all of this stuff like that, the home price is going to be higher. Like I said, either they add on to that interest rate of 7%, or they're going to add on to the home in some way or fashion. It might be through inspection. Oh, we'll pay for the home inspection, and then they might charge you from that. But all in all, guys, I mean, I was just thinking about it today, and it was just really bothering me, you know, to where I'm like, man, they really preying on folks. And a lot of other banks are watching this. And if this thing takes off, I guarantee you'll start to see it in a lot more of the cities. Then on top of this, they say, oh, it's for minorities. Anybody can, you know, apply for this thing. So don't think, you know, they're doing you a service. Anybody can apply for it. But with this thing, it's buyer beware. Know what you're getting into, you know, because I mean, it seemed very sketchy. And besides them saying no money down and this and that, I mean, in a window this big, about that big, people I think will find satisfaction out of this situation, you know, or this loan would be beneficial for that amount of people in a window this big. You know, this is cut for a certain type of person, and a lot of people applying for it are not the ones that it's cut for. You know, so if you're watching this video and you thought it was educational or gave you something to think about, I'm not deterring nobody from buying a home loan, or, you know, but you can't, you can never underestimate somebody's desperation and to play on it. Like I think Bank of America is doing with this loan that's predatory. I mean, this program is predatory, I think. No, because I mean, think about this, guys. I walk into Bank of America, and I bank with Bank of America. I walk into Bank of America, and I say, I need $150,000. They say, oh, well, what are your qualifications? And I say, oh, well, I pay my bills on time. I pay my apartment. I pay my car insurance. And they say, you know what? You qualify. You're just what we need. And they give me the money. Think about that. You can't go in there and get a $3,000 loan with the same qualification they're going to give you a house for. Think about it. Guys, as always, man, I appreciate you guys spending the time with me. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Leave me a comment. Tell me what y'all think about it. You know, if you in some of these cities, man, I mean, I don't know. I would like to know if you know somebody that's in the program and what they're talking about, you know. But as always, man, subscribe. The subscriptions are growing. I appreciate the support, man. You know, I love what I do. I love talking to you guys. You're like family to me. And As usual, man, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Have a good rest of your weekend.